This is episode 2 of the Dragon Ball Insider podcast, taking place on January 16th, 2014. What's going on, guys? This is Anthony over at Dragon Ball Insider. I'm here with my co-host, Ryan Uchi Rojas.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ryan Uchi Rojas, like he said, so let's get this rolling. What do we got today, Anthony?
I don't know why you're talking like an idiot, but today we're going to have our first Q&A session. Dave, as you may know him as DBEternity, will be on with us. So we are going to give him a call up and get him online and get this started. So here we go. All right, guys, so we have Dave on the line. Dave is DBEternity on Instagram. I'm sure many of you know him or know of him or heard him. Dave, how about you give us a little background information on yourself? Just tell everyone who you are.
All right. Well, I'm the notorious DBEternity on Instagram. I'm, well, in a word, I guess I can say I'm a dick. Okay, well, I'm not as bad as I was when I first started. I've gained a little bit of self-control since then.
To say the least.
Yeah. So I'm only moderately, because I'm a purist, so if I hear anything that's remotely wrong with what I believe in with the series, I go ballistic on whoever said that wrong information. But I used to be incredibly, worse than I am now, and, calling out people for their stupidity directly rather than actually helping them out with their information, and, but yeah, I think I'm better now, and I'm much more respectable than I was before.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand where you're coming from in a lot of the times when you do call people out, because there's a difference between being ignorant and being stupid in some cases, because you're trying to enlighten a lot of the people who are sometimes unfortunate to not know the knowledge that you do, and it may sound harsh at times, but you actually want to enlighten the American English fan base, per se.
Right, yes. Because the dub has a lot of misconceptions and, just stuff that they got wrong. So
Not only that, they changed things that didn't need changes.
That's right, yes. And so I'm basically the person you go to if you have an inquiry regarding, is this actually correct? If something sounds weird in the dub or something, because odds are that's incorrect information, and I'll clear that up and all that. So, okay, so how I started Dragon Ball was I wasn't a typical, started out on Toonami, because way back then, I didn't like Dragon Ball. I was a Naruto kid, and I watched Naruto every week and stuff, and that dub isn't bad, actually. Well, at the beginning it was kind of bad, but as it went on, and especially into Shippuden, the dub is much better, and I actually prefer it over the Japanese version.
Yeah, too bad they're so far behind, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, that's besides the point. They're like halfway through what the Japanese version is right now, and
yeah, well, they're on the filler arc right now, which sucks.
I hate filler, but that's another story. So, but my little cousin, back in 2009, we were looking up YouTube videos to search, and he was like, okay, how about we watch Dragon Ball? And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And he showed me the first episode of the dub, which actually came out really recently, uncut at the time, because Funimation only recently got the license to release those uncut with their season DVDs. Right. So then we watched that, and he thought it was funny because all the depictions of male genitalia. He's a little kid, so He thinks that stuff's funny. So we watched it, and I thought, this isn't bad. And I decided to pick up the first season. And I decided not to watch the dub because usually I'm not a dub person. For the majority of anime I watch, it's mostly I watch it in Japanese.
There you go.
But more recently I've been appreciating dubs, especially those of Funimation. Lately,
Well, they've been doing a bit of a better job, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, after they did Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, everything went uphill from them.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of which, the original Full Metal Alchemist dub wasn't that great compared to Brotherhood, but it's all experience, because they've been doing this since 1997 or 8 when they started their in-house voice cast for Dragon Ball.
Well, it changed like 3 times before that because they had the Ocean Studios. And
that was before. That was 96 when they started the Ocean cast dub, even before that, 1995, their failed Ocean cast Dragon Ball dub. Yeah,
I think they got through like 9 episodes and canceled it.
And that's exactly the reason why they weren't able to release the episodes 1 through 13 uncut until 2009, because Kidmark had the DVD distribution license, and they couldn't dub those, and they couldn't release the episodes.
I think Pioneer was involved also with the DVDs.
Okay, Pioneer had the acquisitions to episodes 1 through 56 of the edited dub, and for that reason, Funimation wasn't able to put out seasons 1 and 2 of the series until they got the license back from Pioneer in like the mid 2000s, and they were able and they released it through the Ultimate Uncut DVD sets with the new score by what's his name? Not Bruce Falconer, but
I forget his name, but it wasn't that great.
Yeah, seasons 1 and 2 had
Bruce had it
different
down
score.
though.
Okay, I think his last name was Johnson though, and his first name started with an N, but I forget his name.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, I was saying that, and then I started watching Dragon Ball on DVD, and I got really into it, so I bought the manga, and just from there, it kind of just, I fluctuated between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Usually I would, because at the time they were releasing, they just had released the first Dragon Box on DVD, so I was, my fandom here was born at a really, really good time.
Because the Dragon Box was just released and it was at an all-time high.
Yes, and that was right after the really bad season sets came out. So being late to the party isn't necessarily bad all the time. So I got the Dragon Boxes, all of them, while they were, still in stock, which is great. And I also have...
And probably not $500.
Yeah, no. Each one I got was about like $20 off Amazon, which is great. I mean...
Yeah, which I hate you for.
Yeah, I believe I sent a long time ago. I sent Rojas a torrent of every single Dragon Box episode.
And it took like 6 weeks to download.
Yeah. Not many seeders or anything, because the Dragon Boxes are obscure and no one really cares about them anyway. It's all about the Blu-ray season sets. Ugh,
yeah,
that's another story. Yeah.
But anyway,
okay.
So you got started early at a good time.
At a good time, yeah. And so, at the time, I was more, financially sound, so I was able to acquire the entire series on DVD, in addition to Dragon Ball Z Kai, which has a much better dub. And I'm gonna get a lot of shit for that, but I said it, and I've said it.
Why don't you tell them why, so people could appreciate what you mean? Okay.
Dragon Ball Z Kai has The dub for that is mostly the same voice cast, and I don't understand why people complain about the voices, considering they're most of the same as before, with the
If
exception.
anything, they did a better
Yes,
job
yes.
of voice acting. It doesn't sound robotic.
Yeah,
like in most of the cases.
For example, 18's voice was incredibly dull and robotic in Dragon Ball Z, and people back it up with the argument, well, she's an android, she's a robot, that's how robots are. But that's not true at all. I mean, in the Japanese version of Dragon Ball Z, she was actually her voice was really animated and, you know, like a typical girl would be. And so in Kai, Funimation took note of that, and they emulated the Japanese, you know, the style of her voice, which turned out really well. But people, I guess, didn't like that too much. I don't know why. And another thing with Linda Young versus Chris Ayers as Frieza, that argument just boggles me, because how do you prefer Linda Young over Chris Ayers? That's just a foreign concept to me. And I'm not trying to be, you know, attacking anyone here. I'm sincerely confused as to why anyone would like that voice over Chris Ayers's and Kai's. I mean, other than the nostalgia factor,
there's a nostalgia factor on both sides of the spectrum at this point, because you're appreciative more towards the original, and then there's the other fan base that only grew up watching Frieza, the original dub. So
yeah. I mean,
no one wants change, but the change we see is the change from what actually happened in the Japanese version, and then what actually happened in the English dub.
Well, that's a fine argument and all, but nostalgia, you know, you can't back up arguments with nostalgia, because bottom line, this is the original version, and from now on, we're stuck with this cast whether you like it or not, so just get used to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. You know, Stephanie not only doesn't work for Funimation anymore, she's in California doing other things. So that old Gohan voice will never come back.
It sounded too much like Kid Goku anyway.
Yeah, I think I liked her voice as Kid Goku, because Kid Goku was 12 years old at the beginning of the series, whereas Gohan is 4 at the beginning of the series. So
right.
4-year-olds don't have that raspy voice that Gohan has. So, in my opinion, Colleen Clickenbeard was much better. But you know, I kind of a little bit prefer Stephanie as Cell Game Gohan, though, because
his age.
Yeah, because of the age thing, and her voice fit Cell Game Gohan because he was 10 and 11.
Right.
And so, Colleen's voice was a little bit high on Kai Gohan when in the Cell games. And
I think that's the voice that people most complain about is during the Cell games, because it's the biggest thing.
Yeah, basically. But again, you just have to get used to it, because whether you like it or not, we're stuck with this cast forever.
Yep.
And note that I didn't say teen Gohan.
He's 11-ish.
Yes. If you do the math, he was 4 at the beginning, and then a year of training, there's a science, and then Namek took like 6 months, so that he's 5.5. Wait, did it take 6 months or 1 month? I forget. No, it took 6 days for
6 days
for Goku to get there. So that took like 1 month actually.
Yeah.
And then 3 years. No, wait, 1 year after for Goku to get back to Earth, so he'd be 6, right?
Yep, and then 3 years of training.
3 years of training makes him 9, and then 1 year in the Room of Spirit and Time would make him 10. So at the Cell game point, he's 10 years old.
10 years old.
He's not a teenager, and I don't know where Funimation got that, because in the Japanese video games, his name is listed as Son Gohan Infancy, which, you know, he's 4, so he's not really an infant, but it's like, I think it's like in the infancy of his introduction to the series.
Right.
Then for Cell Game Gohan they wrote Son Gohan Childhood, which makes sense, I guess, because
it makes more sense, absolutely,
because he's 10 years old, and then just Son Gohan as the adult or the teenager, almost adult.
which would make even more sense considering he's not a child and he's not an infant. So
Right, yeah.
they could just call him Son Gohan at that point.
Yeah, right. And they kind of did that with just Gohan in the English games, but and Kid Gohan was, I guess, right too. Yeah. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to put Gohan and in parentheses Cell Games at the end of his name for him during the Cell Games and games.
Right.
But they stuck with Teen Gohan for whatever reason, and it's just stuck to this day.
Did they do that in the Japanese versions also?
No, but what boggles my mind is that they for whatever reason decided to go with the English spelling of Frieza rather than Freeza in their game. And I think Super Dragon Ball Z did this, but most of the names are now just written in Japanese, not in English.
Right. I mean, at that point, it's just less money and less BS to deal with and changing.
Yeah, but for some games, they wrote Freeza for, I don't know why.
Yeah, just a bunch of translation issues, but
yeah,
but that's about it. I mean, in terms of my issues with the dub, besides the fact that, I appreciate it and I grew up watching it, but I appreciate everything. I like the original. That's just me. But you obviously enjoy and appreciate and want to enlighten everyone else
Yeah.
as to why everything is the way it is and why it should be this way.
Right, yes. And the fandom would be a much better place if people kind of opened up to new opinions.
Yeah, there'd be a lot less arguments and everyone would be on the same page of understanding.
Right. Because in a fandom like Naruto, everyone is on the same level, whether it's dub or sub, and everyone appreciates the same things. But with Dragon Ball, it's kind of more hostile. It's either you're separated into the dub category, which is the majority in the United States, or you're separated into a subcategory, which is the minority. And it's not a good place to be, because the dub people will definitely get on your case if just knowing you like the sub version. And the number one complaint is, well, Goku sounds like a grandma. Well, there's a reason she wasn't, replaced.
Yeah.
And that reason would be because she had a certain style of speaking that no one else could emulate. Therefore, they left her as adult Goku, and the entire family, adult and child. So she's the main icon in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, she was the face of the franchise for the longest time.
Yeah, and she still is. She's still on variety shows from time to time, and she's still asked to do Kamehamehas and all that.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. So that's basically a tad of my standing on dub and stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm sure everyone else will get to know you more as we go on
right.
and go forward with these podcasts. But what do you say we get to the question and answer segment?
All right, sure. Let's do this.
Okay, so we posted a link on Instagram, Twitter, our website, that we're going to be doing question and answer. We got a bunch of questions, and I'm just going to go through and pick some of the ones that stuck out most to me. There are some on here that we could actually go into pretty deep detail about, and there are some that are just so obscure and ridiculous that I think it's safe to say we can make a joke out of it in a harmless sort of way. So I'm going to start it off with my favorite question, which I can't really take seriously, but let's see. Subjecto Silence on Instagram's question was, is Naruto ever going to be a Super Saiyan? And I'm saying Saiyan because he spelled it Sayan, which blows my mind. And is Yoda next in line to become Kami? And my response is yes.
Okay.
Can I answer this?
Go ahead.
Can I answer this?
Yeah, do it.
All right. To the Naruto, will he ever become a Super Saiyan? He was born a Super Saiyan. Done.
We're done talking.
I guess.
Okay. Okay. So, Dave, do you have the list of questions up?
Yeah, I have them.
What question would you like to answer?
Okay. I will answer. Where did Goku get his powers from?
Okay.
Okay. Well, Goku originally, at the beginning of the series, he was trained by his grandpa, Gohan, in Kung Fu. And that's how, I shouldn't even be saying that because what kind of question is this?
This is going to raise so many issues because Dragon Ball was only supposed to end at Dragon Ball. He was never an alien until Z.
Yeah, I mean,
so
if we're talking just Dragon Ball, then he was trained in a style of martial arts that Master Roshi, who was the strongest human at the time,
right.
trained his grandfather, and his grandfather in turn trained him, which is how initially he got his strength and his powers. And as the series went on, he got key abilities such as Kamehameha and flying techniques and all that. But mostly the series revolved around physical martial arts at that point. But then we get into Dragon Ball Z, which, wasn't supposed to even happen, really, where Goku is revealed to be an alien from outer space, and that's how he initially got his powers, if we're talking about that. But initially how Toriyama originally intended it was just that he's a kid who was trained by a master of martial arts, and therefore his body is as strong as stainless steel. He says in the first chapter in the first episode in the show, and that training and his journey as a child that succeeded his encounter with Bulma was the original source of his power that you see in Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see. Next question. Let's see. Maybe we can get Rojas to answer a good one.
Oh boy.
You know what? How about this, Dave? Why don't me and you attack one, because I don't know how comfortable you feel talking about this, Rojas.
About what?
Why I say Saiyan as compared to Saiyan?
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, that is all you. I
Well-
can say it in Japanese, Saiyajin. but-
Yes, that's
Well,
right.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but this is from my understanding, Saya is what you can call an anagram.
Yep, that's right.
It's a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of another such word. So it's an anagram of yasai, which means vegetable, actually. In Japanese, mostly, if not every word, is a consonant or a consonant vowel pair, except for the n sound. I think it is the n. So that means
yes, there's n, and then there's some other obscure ones.
Yeah, which I don't even know, but that being said,
Okay, well actually they're all consonant vowel except for n and the vowels themselves.
Right.
E, u, and e.
Right.
Which is the same thing as English except rearranged and written differently, obviously. But
right. So when you get that, you get yasai, and it becomes rearranged as saya. Now, jin literally means person, and jin typically indicates like the nation of origin, or in this place, planet, because they're of the planet. They're from a different planet. So in turn, you get Saiyajin, which I believe is like 5 syllables. It's actually Saiyajin. And when translating, we say Saiyan because, I mean, first of all, Funimation, I don't even think it was Funimation that decided the spelling of that. I believe it was on a magazine or some promotion from back in the day. They actually spelled Saiyan in English, Saiyan. So it's a pretty good spelling translation, but keeping the origin of the pronunciation Saya should have been kept, because in a sense of the word, it doesn't make sense not to keep it that way. Am I right?
Yeah.
So that's why we say Saiyan. It just makes more sense. It's when it comes down to it, that's the way it should be. I mean, like I said before, I don't know if it was how they directed it, if they told him to say it that way. It could be along the same lines as Kaioken and Kaioken,
Right.
which doesn't make any sense to me at all, because it was Kaio's, or as everyone else calls it, King Kai or North Kai, but Kaio should be Kaioken.
Right, yes.
That's-
And they fixed... Well, in the ocean dubs of the first 3 movies, they got that pronunciation right.
Well, there were 3 voice actors of Goku in the U.S., and one of them got it correct. They said Kaioken.
That was
But-
Ian, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. What's his last name? Ian. I gotta look it up. I forget his last name. Corlett, is it?
I know it sounds like that, but I forget his name
Yeah.
too.
But he said Kaioken.
Yes, he said Kaioken, and
But Saiyan was never said Saiyan. It was always
no,
Saiyan.
it was always Saiyan since the conception. And in Kai, even when Kaioken was also fixed in Kai, Saiyan just stuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like the universal English understanding. So I think
Right.
at that point, no one would have understood.
Right, yeah.
Understood. Sorry.
But a really interesting thing is they in the UK trailer of, I think it was either Ultimate Tenkaichi or Dragon Ball Z for Connect, the narrator said Saiyan, not Saiyan.
Really?
Yes, he did.
Just like Boo during the Super
yeah.
Saiyan 3 transformation, Boo said
Say it.
Super Saiyajin.
No, what do you say it like Boo?
I am not talking like Boo.
No, you can. He can, people. Don't let him fool you. He knows how to do the voice, too. Go ahead. Do it.
No, but
He was going to do
but
it.
it confused everyone. It did. So I mean, everyone was like, "Why is he saying Super Saiyajin? It's Saiyan, but it's not Saiyan. It's Saiyan." But I think it just became a joke in house at Funimation. I don't know, but that's my opinion.
Right.
But that's why we say Saiyan, and we don't say it differently than everyone else. We just say it believe it or not, we say it correctly. But the spelling translation is pretty good, because if you think about it, it could be thought of like, all right, so you add the N to your nation of origin, just like in Jin. So if you're from America, you're American. And if you're from Canada, you're Canadian.
Yeah, just like in Japanese, you would do jin at the end of everything. So if you're American, you would be America-jin, or if you're, I don't know.
That's it. That's actually right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? We have some... Let's see. Let's get one for you, Rojas.
Super Saiyajin.
Let's see.
Go to the...
Let's see. What's a good one? We did Where Did Goku Get His Powers From? Oh, Dragon Ball Insider sounds like Dragon Balls Inside Her. That's a good one.
I love that.
That was from Stan Campbell. We actually did that on purpose. No.
Oh, totally.
Nah, not at all.
If you was Gohan, what will you do?
Who does this come from? There's no source.
It just says comes from yesterday, and I'm going to go with that, even though they all come from yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
This just comes from yesterday.
All right.
Was Ultimate Gohan stronger than a Super Saiyan 3? Rojas, what is your take on this?
Oh,
And then me and
God.
Dave are going to go at it.
This is going to be interesting.
All right. So my take on this whole thing, after I would say a good year's worth of education, and by education I mean being in between these two, talking about how they felt about it, and their opinions, and factual information, and me just trying to absorb everything. Like, okay, well, to me, I'll give you two perspectives. I'll give you the perspective of nostalgia Uchi, meaning when I was, I don't know what, 8 years old when I watched it live on TV or something. and then I'll give you current Uchi, like, learning everything, realizing, and, like, kind of subtracting the nostalgia factor. So old me would obviously say Super Saiyan 3 because, I mean, yes. Oh, my bad. Super Saiyajin Sorida! No, but, no. Like,
Oh my god.
I would definitely say Super Saiyan 3 would definitely be stronger than Ultimate Gohan just because of the fact that, seeing Goku do more in that state, in that form, he he just did more. He fought more. Like, we only saw, Ultimate Gohan, or some people like to call him Mystic Gohan.
Which we'll get into.
Oh god.
Right. And, Ultimate Gohan only had, like, one fight, and that was against Super Buu, which then became Buhan, like a lot of people like to call. And, like, that's just me. Like, at that age. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, Super Saiyan. I mean, come on, you see the hairstyle? Like, the hair grew. You got the sparkings. You got all that. But then now, fast forward to now, you kind of learn that Ultimate Gohan is pretty much as strong as a Super Saiyan 3, in my opinion, at least. I feel like it's pretty tied. And, like, let's be honest here. Like, if we were to see Ultimate Gohan face, like, his own father, I'm pretty sure Goku would win, just off of, because it's like, it's not even like it's how did you guys say it? Childhood Gohan. It's not even like it's childhood Gohan in ultimate form, where he was constantly fighting and training, and that was like his prime. At this age, when he unlocked this new form through Supreme Kai, he wasn't like, in his prime anymore. He wasn't as strong. And don't even, get me started with GT Gohan. Like, that Gohan is completely gone.
Yes.
Super Saiyan was like, I'm sorry guys, Super Saiya.
He's on a different level than me and you.
I know. Unfortunately. I'm
No, you know
learning.
what's weird though? In GT, Gohan actually did go Super Saiyan.
And that's it. He never went ultimate.
Yeah.
He, like, it's almost as if, like, he lost the ability.
Yeah, but it's also funny how we do know he is able to go Super Saiyan, especially from Battle of Gods, because up until Super Saiyan God transformation, Gohan was ultimate. He had to turn Super Saiyan to give Goku the ability to be Super Saiyan God, and so we do know it's possible up until then, because I never really considered GT a part of anything, but that's just
Neither did I,
in my
really.
opinion.
Well, especially after Battle of Gods happened, that kind of threw GT in the non-canon pool.
Yes, it did.
But yeah. So back to my whole take on it. I definitely feel like, at least now, and I guess I'm anticipating both of your replies to all of my statements and whatnot. But I feel like, Ultimate Gohan and Super Saiyan 3. Was it Super Saiyan 3 Goku or just Super Saiyan 3 in general? Like, what was the original question?
I'm assuming it's Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so.
Because, we could be talking Gotenks. My dude Gotenks. With that super kamikaze. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. So, if we're talking Goku, then I'm going to say Goku. If we're talking Gotenks, then, there's a little bit of a difference there. I feel like Gohan would win that battle.
Yeah, in that case, I think Gohan would win because Gotenks is extremely arrogant, and that causes downfall. And Gohan is a lot more collected.
And he's less experienced, too. You have to also realize that. Like, he only has, Buu under his belt, and not even. Like, he fought against him, but he didn't defeat him.
Right.
And then he got absorbed, and then bam. And then we were teased Gotenks to return, but Goku stopped it twice.
All right, so Dave, what do you think in terms of Ultimate Gohan and Super Saiyan 3 Goku? Because there is a lot of talk about whether Akira Toriyama did say that Ultimate Gohan is the strongest unfused character in Dragon Ball.
Okay. I think Super Saiyan 3, it didn't have a lot of exposure. You weren't because he only went Super Saiyan 3 2 times throughout the series, and the first one he didn't even, he fought against Fat Buu, which was a joke. really, at that point. And
Yeah.
but he did, he wasn't able to effectively beat him, but he did hold off for a time against Pure Boo.
Right. Well, he did go. It was actually 3 times. It was 3 times. It was when Ultimate Gohan was searching for the Potara earring.
Oh, okay. So that was against Boo
That was
fused with Piccolo and Gotenks then.
Correct.
Well, he was Ultimate Gohan was able to fight off that same character by himself too. So I'm gonna say they're pretty much equal.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I
Wait, I have a side question though for both of you. Was Ultimate Gohan the actual correct term
Yes.
pulled from the manga?
Yeah, the Japanese.
it wasn't in the manga. It was in Daisenshu 7, or not Daisenshu 7. It was in one of the Daisenshus. I forget which
one of the Daisenshu, but
it was the second. It was the second one.
Because the reason why I ask is because I distinctly remember Ultimate Gohan, that term or the name being pulled from the video games.
yeah, the video
That's how I
games.
know.
The video
Yeah, in
games.
the Budokai Tenkaichis.
In every video game that it's in, his name in the Japanese versions is Saikyo no Gohan, which means Ultimate Gohan.
Yo, I'm gonna start. Saikyo no Gohan.
Exactly.
Yo, that sounds so much better.
That literally translates to Ultimate Gohan. But I mean, Funimation, I don't know if they have anything to do with the term Mystic Gohan.
They did.
I think
it was.
I think it was in a book.
Actually,
It was in
I'm not
or
sure.
a magazine or something.
It could have been a magazine, or it just could have been, some fan decided to call him that, and it just stuck with the fan base.
Well, no, wait. I do remember a video game. See, I remember the video games very well. Budokai 3.
Budokai.
All right. Budokai 3. I don't remember if 2 also introduced it, but maybe both of those games. 2 or 3, definitely 3, I'm feeling. That game carried the name Mystic. It wasn't Ultimate. I remember that distinctly. I will literally load up my PS2 right now.
It's funny.
And I will.
I wonder if they changed it to Ultimate in the HD collection. I don't know.
They may have, because it was right after the Daisenshu 2.
Right.
Well, whenever the first Budokai Tenkaichi,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Whenever that game came out, that was when I guess the American audience was first introduced to the term Ultimate Gohan. So there you go, folks. You learned something.
But it didn't stick with everyone.
No,
But
definitely not.
But from this conversation regarding Ultimate versus Super Saiyan 3, I think it's pretty unanimous to say that I think all of us think that they're pretty even. But if you do break it down to, I mean, I don't want to say a microscopic level, there are different mitigating factors that would say otherwise. So just like when Vegeta came back to Earth and him and Goku were fighting Boo after he absorbed Gohan, they both didn't think they could take him on because of the increase with Gohan's strength. But then you look at when they first fought the Boo after he absorbed the evil Boo, Gohan was basically manhandling him. And even at that form, I think Goku said that he didn't think that he could take him on when they were inside of him. Because they couldn't. Him and Vegeta both couldn't. Am I right?
Right.
So at that point, you'd say, all right, well, Gohan's definitely stronger, but at that point, Goku was in Super Saiyan 3. So there was no real definitive evidence pointing to who's stronger. But
Right, and another thing, Super Saiyan 3 is really inefficient because it drains energy. So it's not a good idea to just use it whenever, because then it would be a waste of energy basically. And it should only be used in emergency situations, such as when Gohan lost the Potara, or when he was fighting Kid Buu while to protect Vegeta, who was getting his ass beat at that point.
yeah.
that kind of stinks. Like, I mean, after years and years of watching the series, it just stinks. Like, having your power-ups cause strains to you, I mean, it's whatever. We're used
Well,
to it.
Gohan didn't have that problem when he was in his ultimate
Well, that's what
form.
I'm saying. Like, Goku should have learned how to go ultimate.
Here's a good question. If any of us had the opportunity to sit down with Akira Toriyama and motivate him to make a sequel to DBZ, either a new series or a movie, what would we say? How would we inspire him, and what ideas would we give him for new transformations or even new characters? First of all, I need to learn Japanese.
Okay, firstly, I would bring back the Bruce Lee character
Yes.
because he was just,
Hold on, Rojas, do you know anything about that?
Is this a Dragon Ball character?
Yes.
That's what I'm guessing.
he fought in he lost to Kuririn in the preliminaries of the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai.
Respect how he said Kuririn.
And then he fought Goku on the street for 100,000 zeni
Wait, is this the dude with the ponytail?
No. He literally
this is the
looks
Bruce
like
Lee
Bruce
looking
Lee.
dude.
All right.
Yeah, and he would go, whoa!
I guess you'd say that. Oh man! So you'd ask him to bring back the Bruce Lee character?
Of course, yes.
That's it?
Pivotal. That's a pivotal point. But
I agree.
what else would I say? I would tell him to, not forget stuff.
Well, he never ever planned anything.
Good point.
It's typical. He didn't plan out anything he did. It's not like the typical manga or new anime adaptations we see today that are all planned out with a deep storyline and plot twist. I mean, there were really no plot twist to Dragon Ball at all. It was straightforward.
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
The only confusion is the plot holes, and the plot holes are in lieu of Toriyama's not paying attention to detail.
Right.
For real. Oh, man. All right, am I next, or are you up
Yeah,
next?
what would you say to him?
All right, Toriyama-sensei, I love you. I'll say that first. I'll be like, you've definitely changed my life, all right? But I will be straight honest with him. Hold on, I want to read the question. I can answer every single thing. All right, here we go. Okay, so here's how my conversation with the man would be. I would sit down with him, I would applaud him and just thank him on all the years that he's given me on my life with the series that he's created and everything. But the thing is, I will definitely, add on to what Dave was saying. I would definitely be like, why are you forgetting things and blah, blah, blah. But yes, I do understand, like, it wasn't planned or anything like that. But I would then tell him to go and, like, really think about what you're doing as far as, like, your characters and the storyline and like just like okay, I'm gonna like pause for a second. Okay, the main thing that I would definitely want him to change is the fact, or not even change, or is to pay more attention to, is his other roster of characters. Like, ever since Z happened, the Saiyans got all the love. I mean, even if it was just the Goku side of the family, Gohan being able to, ascend to level 2 or whatever it was called at the time before 2 was even a thing until 3 was announced. Goku going all the way up to level 3, even though it was in manga form, but, Goku went Super Saiyan 4 on his own. And it just stinks for characters like Tien and Krillin and Yamcha, and I'm sorry I'm not using the original Japanese names right now, but to make your anime or your manga, your series, your franchise that much more enjoyable, like bring back characters like the Bruce Lee character from Dragon Ball, and bring back characters that had meaning in the show at one point,
Like lunch.
Mm-hmm.
like when you do that, the Saiyans might have their power-up, Super Saiyan, okay? And Goku has his Kaioken, which we haven't seen since the early starts of Z, but that's okay because...
Except in the filler arcs.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. But see, that's filler, but so it don't really matter. But, have, the humans, have Piccolo, give them their own equivalent, so that way when they can actually pitch in to these fights and contribute and actually like, carry the title Z Warrior with true meaning, because it's like ever since,
Z Warrior is a dub term, actually.
well, okay, yeah, it's a dub term, but like,
Well,
but
you
still.
know, about that, the Japanese term would be Zeto Senshi, which can either
Yeah.
mean Z Warrior or Z Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so-
Z Warrior isn't a bad translation.
Well, they said Z Fighters throughout the whole.
The Z Fighters. Yeah, I
Right.
remember that. So I don't know, like, I guess, and to add on, like, how will I inspire him? Like, I would definitely point him in the direction of, shows like Naruto, Full Metal Alchemist, Bleach, even One Piece. Like, I would just, or even Attack on Titan, Sword Art Online, things that I have seen with my own eyes that have depth, character development. There's story, there's plot twists, there's backgrounds, there's flashbacks, there's every kind of element that's necessary for you to have an enjoyable, emotionally tied, show. Like, that's how shows are so good nowadays. Like, even stepping outside of the animation realm, like, you have all of those elements.
Right.
I think it's funny that Dragon Ball Z ended the way Toriyama would be expected to. It was just like, I'll be back later.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
definitely. And
that bothered me.
Me too.
Because I mean, first of all, I never watched an anime other than Dragon Ball up until a month or two ago. I started watching Naruto and I watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and at the end of Brotherhood, not for anything, that shit hits home. Like, holy shit! Like, this kid lost his brother, and then he came back, and
the thing with Full Metal
it's
Alchemist,
crazy.
though, it kind of leaves on a note that it could continue,
of course,
but it won't continue.
Right, which is, I think, needed in an anime, though. Because, I mean, an anime that's 291 episodes as compared to one that was like 64, I mean, you have closure. And you expect closure after 291 episodes, and there really was none.
Saying, okay, well, in Full Metal Alchemist, Ed gets his right arm back because of Al's sacrifice. But
Wait.
he doesn't.
Spoilers.
Yes, yeah.
No.
He's never watched it.
Really? Well,
He's never
I've
watched
only watched the
Brotherhood.
It's
original. I've only
really,
watched the
it's
original.
really similar to the original.
Everybody dies.
It's really
said that
similar
to
to
me.
the original, but in this, okay, well, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say what happens to Al after that, but in short term, he got his entire body back, but Ed still doesn't have his left leg,
Right.
and so that could open up a new scenario in how to get it back without a Philosopher's Stone or whatever, but.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen, and that makes me sad. But
Yeah.
Well, one thing I want to add to this whole, like, what would we, like, suggest to Toriyama? I would, and I would be straight up honest with him. I'd be like, I understand that you're old, and, like, I remember reading something about, like, how he was just, like totally exhausted, and he doesn't have the stamina
Right, yeah.
anymore to, like, create things, like, when he was writing Jacko.
Yeah.
So, in understanding of that, he is old, and he can't, like, keep up with, like, all these young mangaka and stuff like that. Like, I would say, if you need to, turn to your other artists.
yeah, like
'cause,
Naho Oishi, who wrote
there you go.
who wrote
like
an
that.
episode of Bardock and Dragon Ball SD.
Exactly. Like, if you have, like, your team do, what you created it. Yeah, and, like, everyone will always remember that. But it's like, if you have a show that to this day people beg for new episodes and chapters and what have you, and it's like we're in 2014 and people are still sharing the same meme pictures of, a fake Akira Toriyama interview when he reveals that he's gonna make X amount of more episodes and chapters.
Can I
and what?
can I just comment
whatnot.
on that? Okay, that is wrong because Toriyama does not make episodes.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, an
And
animation
proof that it's
studio,
fake.
an animation studio by the name of Toei Animation, has a team of animators, and and the team of animators who draw key animation frames, which are then shipped to studios in Japan and Korea that do in-between animation that send it back to them, and there you have it. Toriyama just draws it. Draws the
Exactly.
manga. He has nothing to do with the production of the anime except for supervision, and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how we get filler. It's all Toei.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. So exactly. So
Oh, and by the way, this question actually had someone who actually gave us their name. It was El Peruano, I guess. Peruano.
Peruano.
But I think that's enough on that topic. Let's go for some short answer questions we could go with. Let's see.
How much time do we got left?
We have some time. Let's see. Is Dragon Ball coming back? What do we do to get it back? It's probably not coming back.
We've tried getting it back with the petition, kind of, for the dub of Battle of Gods, which is a start, but
Kami to Kami.
Yeah, but anyway, Dragon Battle of Gods opens up for something new, but there's no official word on if this is going to happen, and there's no official word on in when this is going to happen.
Yeah, there's no official word if it's going to come here.
Yes.
Period.
Because Funimation still doesn't have the license for the OVA Plans to Eradicate the Saiyans, and they don't have the license to dub the remake of that, and they don't have the license to dub the 2008 OVA Haya Goku and his friend Son Goku and his friends return, and they don't.
With Tarble?
Yeah, yes, that one.
Oh, nice.
And
The Super Anime Tour special.
and
Nissan.
and more notoriously, they don't have the license to dub Battle of Gods. So, licensing is a really big deal if you want something localized, and Fox still has first dibs on that movie, and there's no word on when that movie is going to come out here, but eventually it will.
I think it will, definitely. I mean, they still have the theatrical release, distribution, and screening rights in Latin America.
Right, and next month it's going to be screened in Italy, too.
Correct.
I mean, I feel like it's definitely gonna come here. I
But
feel like
as for something after Battle of Gods that is produced in Japan itself, there's no way to know that it's coming back. I mean, there have been revivals before where not really any new content has been produced, just reprints of manga such as the Kanzenban and things like that.
Yeah, but at that point, will it even become an anime? Because, I mean, look how old Masako Nozawa is.
Definitely.
Look how old
Oh my
Toriyama
gosh.
is.
Yeah.
So who would want? I can't picture
sad.
anyone else doing Dragon Ball Z without them.
That's true.
But
I know
so it's something to consider.
Tenshin Han's voice actor died a long time ago.
Same with Shenlong.
Same with Shenlong's voice actor. I think
Just died.
Yeah, he died last year.
freshly kicked the butt.
He died months after the recording for Dragon Ball Kai ended, which is pretty
Correct.
good timing, I guess. And Kame Sennin's original voice actor died 2 episodes before the end of Dragon Ball Z when it was airing in Japan. And so they replaced his voice in the last 2 episodes and throughout GT, and that voice is... And he's gotten 2 voice actors since then, too, so...
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Will there be a Dragon Ball Z game for Xbox One? We don't know.
Oh my
They're
god.
We don't know.
most
Okay,
likely...
let's be honest. We know there will
there
be
will
one
be.
eventually.
But as for now, no. That there will be none. Battle of Z is strictly on PS3 and Xbox 360 solely, and not
And the
for
Vita.
not for the next gen consoles.
Yeah, and the Vita,
Oh, Vita too?
It's digital.
Okay, I
Digital.
gotcha.
Yeah.
which will probably happen with what is it, PlayStation 3? Because I know within the year there's going to be a lot of games that are available for download via, I guess, the internet for PS3
PlayStation Network.
or 4. I'm sorry, PS4. Here's a question from SUP3R_Cyan. I'm not really sure who this character is. I didn't pay much attention to GT. It may be a movie character, but I didn't
Okay,
really
who is
watch
this?
many of the movies. It's who would win the fight in a fight, Super Janemba or
Okay.
Hachiyak?
Okay,
Hachiyak?
okay. Super Janemba was in movie 12, Fusion
Correct.
Reborn, and Hachiyak
Yes.
was in the OVA plan to eradicate the Saiyans.
That's
that's
it.
right, that's right. Okay, I remember, I
yeah,
remember.
Okay.
Who would win?
That's a tough question considering I don't watch the movies, and so I
Neither do
didn't
I.
watch that one.
Broly would win. That's the answer. Broly.
Broly, yes, Broly wins. That next question.
Okay, so let's see. We got a good one here. Is Super Saiyan 4 stronger or as strong as Super Saiyan God?
That cannot be answered because Dragon Ball GT is not canon.
For those who won't accept that answer, Super Saiyan God supersedes Super Saiyan 4, in my opinion.
I mean, it's called God. I mean, I think it would surpass any number.
Right.
Let's see. What else? What else do we have here?
Super Saiyan.
Yamcha versus Kuririn.
Snorlax.
Okay, in the manga, Kuririn was said to be
Is useful.
and he was said to be the strongest human by the Buu saga, so he would win that.
Wow. What about him and Ten Shinhan?
Tenjin Han. Okay, wow. This is a debatable topic because Kuririn wasn't able to do anything against Cell, but Tenshin Han was able to hold him off with the Shinki Koho, which almost killed him. So it's hard to say, but Toriyama's the man, and he said that Kuririn's better. I don't know.
Let's see. One question I've always wondered, or wandered, I think you wrote. Where would you rank Paikon among the strongest characters of the show?
He's filler.
He's filler.
Yep.
Goku did a good job against him.
Yeah. Kaioken.
It's hard for me to. It's kind of hard for me to give my opinion on filler.
Besides, another thing, why did they change his name to Paikon? It was originally Paiku Han.
Why did they change lunch to launch and
I don't know.
cut it into Krillin?
Well,
and
I know why they did that. It's because
easier to say.
yeah, but another thing, early Dragon Ball Funimation took a lot of aspects from the Latin American dub,
Yeah.
which wasn't that good at the time. So the Latin American dub originally called Krillin, and they adapted it as Krillin, which
But then you got also Piccolo.
yeah, they have Piccolo, which is a direct transliteration from his Japanese name.
Correct.
But I guess Funimation caught on to his name pun because of Tambourine and all the other demon clan
Right.
creatures.
Let's see. Here's a good one.
Ended on that.
On this one,
That's.
I think we need one more after
Well,
this.
then
and we'll be good.
don't say that one yet. Say the other one.
Oh man. Well, I promised someone I'd read theirs. It's a good question. There's actually three we have to do.
Just save it for last.
Okay, let's see. Not many people know about Chaozu and his abilities.
Because
Okay.
he dies all the time.
Could we get an in-depth? Can we get an in-depth look of him?
Okay, Chaozu. Okay, he was
Dave, I was going to
introduced.
say. Go ahead.
Okay, Chaozu. Is
Oh,
introduced.
this is from Vegeta_Ultimate, by the way.
Okay.
What up?
Oh, that guy. All right. So Chaozu is based on a doll from a Chinese fable, and Tenshin Han is also based on from the same story. And they and ironically, the character in the story has 3 eyes. So what Chaozu can do? Chaozu has psychic powers. He can. He fought against Krillin in the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, and he was able to hold off really well actually, and it didn't even break a sweat until he had to do a math problem.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
Him in thinking didn't work.
yeah, so basically he uses psychic powers that one of them was able to stop Krillin's movements. He was able to petrify him, basically. So it's similar to Goldo's powers, except that he can't stop time.
Right.
Now and he was only really in the spotlight in that battle. He was kind of a side character throughout the rest of the series, and he can blow himself up.
Yeah, which is always good and successful.
Yes.
Ha! Psych.
Okay, so let's see. We have another good one. What is your or our favorite Dragon Ball Z game?
I got this.
Oh god, you can go ahead and do this.
I got this. All right, so I am I guess you could call me, well, for the some of the games that I play, I'm very competitive in. So I'm going to translate that into this question. So when it comes down to a balanced, a playable, fun game, I'm going to go with Budokai 3.
I love that
Straight up
game.
3, no Tenkaichi. I'm not saying those sucked. I'm not saying they were bad. Okay, kind of, I am saying they were bad because let's be honest, those games turned into Key Energy Blast's battle. That's what they should have called it. They should have called it Dragon Ball Z Key Battle. Like they should have called it something like that because that's literally all it was. All you had to do was combo somebody.
Actually, well, for titles, they called it Sparking in Japan.
Yeah.
It was always sparking in Japan.
It's like
Yeah.
Neo Sparking Meteor. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there we go. But so like it could be Sparking with Key is what
Exactly.
I'm trying to say.
Like that's what what sucked about those games. Like there was no it was literally like you would just get your distance and then Kamehameha the whole time or Gallic Gun or
Kamehameha. And
Yes,
garlic gun.
or Masenko or anything like that, and that's the whole fight. But in Budokai 3 for PS2 or GameCube, because I do remember that it was actually for GameCube as well, that it was a 2D fighter. It was you had your a few combos, you had your key blasts, and you had input on screen commands and stuff. It was just a fun game. They had nice stages. There was flying and stuff like that, and it was just action packed. And the fact that the roster list was pretty good too. I mean, Oob was in it. All 3 forms of Boo were in it. All the Cell forms, all the Frieza forms. Goku went up to Super Saiyan 4, and this is where Gohan was known as Mystic, if I'm not mistaken, or they did change it to Ultimate. I really have to replay that game to find out for sure. A lot of characters, Videl, Hercule, Tien Shan, like all of them. So
right. And by
I'm
the way,
definitely gonna say that.
by the way, Mr. Satan.
Yeah, Mr. Satan.
Mr. Satan.
Okay.
Let's see. What about you, Dave?
Okay, for me, I'm gonna go out on a whim and say that Ultimate Tenkaichi was my favorite of the console games, just because of the simplistic battle system. Because I'm not good at fighting games, so the rock paper scissors system was really easy to catch on to. And
This is the latest one, right?
yes,
Before Battle of Z.
Yes, this is the latest one. With
I mean, I did like how you can
colors.
create your own character.
Yeah, but I hated
To a degree.
I hated the lack of customization features, and not to
Right.
mention that he was super weak when you started off.
They definitely ripped off of the hero from Dragon Ball Heroes, and
Yes,
they just
they
made him
did.
look a little bit older.
Oh, and speaking of which, there's controversy because in the opening they show that character and like another character that you can customize, and people on YouTube were like posting that opening saying it was Dragon Ball Hoshi or whatever.
Oh yeah. I remember that whole scandal.
Yeah.
It's just fans getting butthurt because they really see Akira. They really want more Dragon Ball. Like just do it.
Okay. And let me go on and say that my all-time favorite game was Attack of the Saiyans on DS because that's
is this the role RPG?
yes, that's the
Yes.
RPG, and I like RPGs a lot because
Great game. I played
yeah,
that.
that game was great, and it started at the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai and ended, I believe, at the end of the Saiyan saga.
Yes, yep, it did.
And it was all RPG turn-based, and it had a unique battle system, and it was just a lot of fun. They need to make more RPGs because in the past for the Super Nintendo, I know and the Famicom, they made a lot of RPGs, Dragon Ball ones, and
Which was cool, and I think everyone expected Battle of Z to be that way, but unfortunately it wasn't.
It's a multi Zenkai Battle Royale thing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I think we should move on to the next one. I have 3 more good ones, and I think we should wrap it up.
Okay.
I'm going to go in an order I think is appropriate. We haven't had many Battle of Gods questions yet, so let's go with this one. In case you haven't seen it yet, it's the latest Dragon Ball Z movie. Just came out back in March, I believe it was.
Spoiler.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, sorry, but we're gonna spoil something for you. It's not really that big, but here's one from Majin Buu _Ultimate. Why do people that have watched Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods think there are 11 other gods of destructions besides Beerus? He never mentioned this, correct? This is correct. He never mentioned it. It could be implied or assumed. It's up in the air.
Yeah, he did mention 11 other universes. And
But he didn't specify it.
Yes, and so fans assumed, oh, there must be 11 other gods to go with those 11 universes. But this was never really specified, and there could be any number of gods, or he can be the only one in addition to Whis. But we don't know for sure, and he never specifically said that there were 11 other gods. But there could be more, and it would be weird if there wasn't, to be honest, but we don't know for sure.
It would. There could have been one god that oversaw 3 universes, is what could be implied. But in my opinion, I think it's safe to say there might be, but unless Toriyama announces something, or we'll never actually know. That question will be up for debate.
Right.
Here's another good question. This one, Dave, I think you'd like. In your opinion, best soundtracks featured in movies?
In movies, okay, this is great. I'm gonna go dub here and say that the Cooler's Revenge soundtrack was amazing.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's the only movie I like dubbed. In addition to movie 10, which is Broly's Second Coming.
Yes! I love you, Dave. I was going to say that. Yes!
Okay, the soundtracks for those were great, but those are the only ones I really like dubbed.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, now, the Japanese score was all composed by the same guy all 3 series through, Shunsuke Kikuchi.
Right.
And he did the composition for every single musical piece ever introduced to the series. His style was mostly inspired largely by Japanese films in the 50s, because I've seen Godzilla from the 1954, and the music sounded extremely similar to his style.
Let's see.
The final.
Also, I just want to add something in there. Akira Toriyama, he was not the screenwriter for most, if not all, of the Dragon Ball movies, except for Battle of Gods.
Well, Broly,
Nope, he wasn't.
Created Broly. He created him.
Well, he created him as a character, but I think the way that he depicted Goku was not him. It was a guy by the name of Takeo Koyama.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right.
And he is your typical hero Goku. Now, it's up for debate. It's up for discussion. Goku, to say the least, he was a sidelined character, even though he was the main character, but he was still sidelined. He was always very lazy and nonchalant. The dub made him a hero. Now, that's the typical Akira Toriyama Goku. I'm sorry. No, the dub, that's the complete opposite, not the hero. Koyama was the I'm a hero Goku. So whenever you see movies like Broly, where he's the hero, and every other movie, Goku is the hero, that's Koyama. Battle of Gods, Akira Toriyama basically oversaw everyone, and it was his Goku. Many people didn't like the movie just because it was like, why was Goku not there? Why was he just watching from the sidelines?
Well, the thing is, Toriyama, he wanted Goku out of the picture ever since Gohan came into it. But the fans didn't want Goku to just be replaced, so he kept having to bring him back, and that's why you see he's almost never there.
Right.
In Z.
But in Battle of Gods, he brought back what he wanted. And the English dub fan base were pissed off, but the primarily original Japanese fan and basically the ones that just appreciate the original understood it, and they were like, wow, this is typical Toriyama. So that's just a side note. But here's the last question we have. Rojas is really hyped on this.
Here we go.
Many people say that Goku is the strongest anime/manga character. Although there are some other people that don't think the same, what do you guys think? Is he the strongest? If not, then who is? And this was Dragon Ball Z _manga_official.
I really couldn't answer this question because there's so many things I've seen. So
Rojas?
I want to hear what you want to say, Ant. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like I said, I mean, I've seen so many series that it's really difficult to pinpoint where exactly Goku would be. So I can't answer that.
It's hard to say.
Oh, it's not hard.
It's hard to say. I mean, I could right now. Rojas is saying Naruto would beat Goku.
Are you kidding me?
I didn't even explain myself though.
Let's hear it. I want to hear the explanation again, so I could own you again.
All right. Well, let's all calm down now. Simmer down. All right. You got the water. Here, you want some of my water? Here.
Yeah, I
here,
want
here.
water.
Have some of my water. All right. So, the reason.
That's some good water.
I also want water.
The reason why I said that, or I believe that Naruto would overcome a fight with Goku, is because of the fact that Goku comes from an anime, or I'm not going to say an anime. He comes from a series that, unfortunately, for us, the fans, wasn't really treated with the care and love that a show or a series like Naruto was given, the attention it was given. I mean, Akira, like you guys have said it, Anthony, I've heard it from you a million times, like, he made it because he was told to. He was government funded. He forgot things. There was too many plot holes. And, like, his persona, he just wants to fight the strongest person, not necessarily, like for us, he's the the character he portrays to us is, he's trying to save the world. He's the answer to all who call for help and yada, yada, yada.
I am the hope of the universe.
No. You need to shut up right now. I am not going through that again.
Okay, but I'm not going to do that. But, like, I don't know. And that's the thing. Like, and if you watch Battle of Gods, that was a letdown. I'm sorry. That was a letdown of a movie.
It was just overhyped.
Yeah,
but
it
anyway,
was
Rojas.
like Super Saiyan God. There were so many, this movie's all about Super Saiyan God. You have to watch it because Super Saiyan God, and there's like literally 2 minutes of footage where he's Super Saiyan God.
Exactly. Like, what did he even do? He got a good few hits on Birasu. He did.
They actually went with the term Beerus.
They did?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
and
well,
there's a controversy with the decision of his name, actually. Originally, Toriyama intended it to be, because they made up the name Whis first, and he thought that they were naming it after whiskey, so he named Beerus his name to say the name pun for beer, but it was a totally different decision as to why they called him Whis. I'm not sure what the decision was, though.
But anyway, why would Naruto beat Goku?
Okay, so I'll finally wrap myself up so that I can get mutilated and destroyed by reason and judgment and all this that Anthony is about to serve to me on a silver platter.
Great.
Because I can just see it in his face right now. He's ready to go. He is powering up. But all right, back. Let's talk about power. Goku had a limit. You want to include Battle of Gods? Sure. He went Super Saiyan Goto, all right? And we do not know, like, numerically or however you want to, like, calculate this, how strong that really is. And the fact is, when Goku did it, what happened? He did it, and then he couldn't do it for too long. But then afterwards, it came out his ass, and he randomly did it out of nowhere. And then they were like, "Oh, what happened?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then they left it at that. Typical Dragon Ball Z. Like, all right. So, they leave us, empty-handed, and I mean, not really empty-handed, but like they leave us with wanting more.
Cliffhanger.
There you go. So, but with Naruto, we know that this is ending this year.
We also know that at this point he seems to be dead.
Okay, well, we know he's gonna come back somehow, and we're not gonna turn this into a Naruto insider, all right? We're gonna
what?
stay to. No.
Wait, what?
Okay, yeah. See, you just ruined
spoilers?
it. Spoilers? Yeah, exactly. But anyway.
Oh, you didn't read it yet?
No,
I'm
way far back. I'm only on the part where Sasuke and Naruto like team up to fight Juby. Yes.
Juby?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit.
Oh well,
Don't.
being dead is an understatement. No, I'm just kidding.
No. All right, now listen. All right, so Naruto is as strong as he is. He has, hermit mode, like sage mode, okay? He has full control over Kurama, meaning that he has full access to all the chakra. And not to mention, his, family is related to the Senju clan, a.k.a. all the chakra in the world. They have, oodles and oodles and oodles of chakra. Naruto has so much chakra that he distributed his chakra, his Nine Tails mode,
To everyone
to
there,
every
yes.
single person in the war. Okay? And he still has some for himself.
But he's also a human.
Okay, I don't care. All right? We're in the anime world here. All right? You had a freaking crossover anime special with One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, and Toriko. I'm pretty sure Toriko's a human. What he do? He eats and cuts up meat and shit. I don't.
Yeah, I
it's-
was never able to take that show seriously.
And we should talk about that in another podcast episode because I'm going to get off on a tangent. But I just want to stay, onto what I'm trying to finish. Is that Naruto is his energy. If you want to translate it to ki, the ki and chakra are essentially, as far as the anime goes, they both serve the same purpose. Okay, they're used to, continue with battles and use more moves and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, if I'm not mistaken, they actually say they could sense ki or chi, and I forget which one they use. They use I think it's chi, but-
Yeah, I'm not sure in Naruto, but mostly it's chakra. It's just chakra, not anything else.
And I'm gonna end it with saying this. Not for nothing, Goku, he is in his 50s or something, all right? And I'm not gonna let age be the ultimate decider of this, but I just will say that I love Goku for who he is and the character that he's been. That's
What
motivated.
are you talking about? Are you talking about the way Funimation ruined him, or
That's what he's talking about.
All right, yes. But I'll just say that, okay? And that, he's a great character. He's motivated millions of people worldwide for who he is, what he's done, whatever, okay? I'm pretty sure we were all raising our arms and hands up when he was about to defeat Kid Buu. I know I did it when I was in 4th grade with my friends. So, but the fact is I'm pretty sure, yeah, you have instant transmission, but Naruto got the yellow. He's the son of the Yellow Flash, and he pretty much is the new Yellow Flash. He's fast as shit. He has all these, jutsu abilities, utilities. He got mobility. I'm just rapping right now. It doesn't even matter. He's youthful. He can literally give Goku a run for his money. And you know what? I would want Goku to push to his far reaches and stuff, to the point where Naruto would just dig deeper inside himself, and then bam, Naruto would win, and that's that. And trust me, Naruto's not even done yet. I'm sure when he awakens something else or does something else, or we're introduced to something even greater that he has access to, it's literally not going to be fair for Goku, and that is all. Have a nice day.
Hey, Dave.
or we could just say that they're not from the same series and therefore they shouldn't be compared.
Well, that was my argument originally, but I think I have a pretty good. I think I have a pretty good argument, even though Rojas seems to think otherwise.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Naruto
is a human being. Dave.
Yes.
If Naruto got shot
Oh my
with
God.
a gun,
He would be friggin' dead on the floor.
what would happen if Goku got shot?
The bullet would bounce off of him and cause him minor pain.
Exactly.
Minor annoyance pain, and then he'd go off and say, "Was that black magic?" And then
Oh, also, that happened as a child. As a child, if you watch, Rojas never actually finished Dragon Ball, the original.
Yeah, I've only seen bits and pieces.
But as a kid, he got shot.
All right, Goku's Tupac. I don't care. It don't matter. Okay. You're gonna give him the gun example, really?
I think it's a pretty good explanation of just like the difference in ability, like not even ability, just body.
dude, but you really think that if you honestly think that if Naruto got shot at, you really think he would get hit with the bullet? He would catch it.
Yeah, but no way.
Yes, he would. Man,
Dave,
Oh my
Dave,
God.
please, before I kill him over
What?
this internet pipe. Well, let's hear you're the mediator.
Okay.
don't give me no bazooka now,
All right. Well,
because Naruto would eat that too. Feed it to Kurama.
what I think
Karuma.
Kurama. Naruto is really fast, so he'd pretty much dodge all the bullets. But the thing is, Goku doesn't have to dodge any of them.
Thank you.
Oh my god. No, wait, psych. Wait, hold on. Naruto wouldn't have to either. You know why? Because the chakra is so strong that the bullets would just get engulfed into flames and just spurt.
Prove that.
All right.
That's called wishful thinking.
Oh, your whole gun theory is a wishful.
It's
No,
fact.
it's fact. All right, so continue. More on this mediation? I like this.
Okay. And Naruto is dependent on an external force of energy, while Goku isn't.
Very true.
That's not. That's technically not true.
Well,
Because he has, yes, he has, you may call it an external energy, but that chakra, it's like a technicality thing. Because look at Gaara. He got his Shukaku taken out of him, and I immediately thought that, well, what's going to happen to all his sand abilities or anything at that matter? And he was still Kazekage and still was pulling out moves and jutsu out of his butt this whole war. So I don't think that's really, a thing
if
here.
that were the case, then why would like half the series, half Shippuden be just about him trying to control that chakra?
Because it's part of the plot. I mean, Naruto got plot. What? Oh, wait.
They say, I saw a meme, which is pretty funny. I think it was like, yeah, I may take 5 episodes to charge a spirit bomb, but you take a whole season just to learn an ability.
Okay, all right. And what he do? He completed his father's jutsu, which was unfinished.
Yeah, but it
wasn't his
still
father's
unfinished,
jutsu.
though. I mean, then he had to.
What are you talking about? He made it Rasengan.
Then he had to apply wind to it, which took another season.
Yeah, which took another season. Yeah.
All right, but okay, that's fine. Like Naruto gonna learn.
So you think? Voice crack. You think Naruto is the strongest character in all of anime?
I think as far as
I would have to
Yes.
say no, because other anime have stronger characters than that.
well, I mean, you have to like we're not gonna have time to categorize every single person out there.
I think the question was a little bit broad, and it shouldn't have been broad like that, because they're pitting Goku against everyone in anime, and that's impossible to calculate.
Light Yagami would write his name in the Death Note, and he would die.
Yes. So basically,
So Goku would lose right there.
yeah, Light is the strongest.
But he'd be wished back.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. So, yeah, so many technicalities and stuff, that's really difficult to say where Goku would fit in strength compared to every anime character.
Yeah, there really is no comparison at this point, especially since now they're putting them up against DC and Marvel characters.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, in my opinion, I think Goku is one of the more powerful of the characters. He's definitely the most popular.
Right.
By all means.
He's like the team captain, if anything. I'll give him that.
He is.
He's been around longer. I'll give him
Yep.
that. I'll give him his years.
Next 2 years marks the 30th anniversary of the anime.
Yeah.
Which everyone is expecting another OVA or short.
They
but-
better.
Oh, and this year,
I don't think
this year in December is the 30th anniversary of the manga too.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So go ahead, continue with what you were saying about Goku being.
Oh, I just think he's the face of anime.
Right, yeah.
When it comes down
Well,
to it, a lot
I
of
guess so.
manga and other anime were based off of Goku's character, such as Naruto.
Right,
know.
and
I don't-
I'll admit that.
and Luffy.
Yep, correct. So I just think, I mean, I don't know if he's the strongest character. I don't really watch much anime. I've started, but I know Superman would beat his ass.
Oh
Just-
gosh,
Don't
we're
even
gonna
bring
get
his
so much shit
broke
for.
ass.
We've gotten so much shit for that too.
I know, but that's going to be in a different episode. I think it's about time we call it quits.
Right.
It's getting kind of late, and we're coast to coast. But I hope everyone enjoyed this episode, and I know I did. It's our first real episode. Definitely having Dave on here was a big plus, a big addition, and I mean, Dave's availability is not always there. So I mean, to have him on the show is just always going to be a good time, and it's always having good conversation with him. And I think Dave would think likewise.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
But that being said, we will end it at this, and we will post it up soon enough. And once again, thank you for listening, and we really appreciate all the support you guys give us through all of our media outlets, Instagram, Facebook, our website. Remember, DragonBallInsider.com. We're trying to build our forum. We want to have more interaction on there, and we'll post this podcast up as soon as it's finished, and that's about it. Anything else, Dave?
Don't buy the Blu-ray season sets.
Reason being?
They are a waste of money, a DNR'd mess.
I already got the orange bricks.
You don't need the Blu-rays then, because they're exactly the
Exactly.
same thing.
For real, yeah.
Yeah. Well, once again, Dave speaks his mind.
In essence, they are. I mean, they actually used, a proper remastering process for this one, but it's still cropped, and the colors are still way too bright. So
Yeah, I mean,
essentially, they're the
it's-
same product, and you shouldn't waste your money on it if you already have the orange bricks, which is bad enough. So there.
What about the level sets? Remember those?
The level sets. Everyone hates those because the black bars on the side, but I have to tell you, Dragon Ball Z was made that way.
Correct.
It was animated that way. So it's a show that's almost 30 years old. Television didn't have HD back then. Only movies were in that aspect ratio back then, and Dragon Ball Z wasn't a film franchise. Unless you want to count the actual films, which were animated in 4:3, but cropped to 16:9 when they showed it in the theaters, which is acceptable, I guess. But yeah, in essence, don't buy those DVDs or Blu-rays. Thank you.
All right, guys. Yeah, let's call it a close. Once again, thank you. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, DragonBallInsider.com. We're up and coming, and it's gonna be fun. All right, Dave, it was nice talking with you, man.
Right, you too.
All right, man, I'll talk to
All
you.
right, see ya.
What's going on, guys? This is Anthony from Dragon Ball Insider. I'm here at my co-host. Oh, fuck. What's going on, guys? This is Anthony over at What the Fuck? Why Can't I Hear Myself?